So I've had some mixed things to say about the DuckTales reboot in the past. There are some episodes I really like, some episodes that I find to be just fine, and then some episodes that I just didn't really care for. It's an uneven show, in my eyes. But episodes like The Spear of Selene, I think, are the best kind of episode that this show really has the potential to give us. Because while the show does definitely have a lore, there is a lore element to this, there is a mystery element to this, the humor really is the forefront of the show. And I'll be entirely honest, that's not what I was hoping for when I first picked it up. But, it's starting to grow on me. And if we get more episodes like this going forward, I mean, I'll be totally cool with it the whole way through, I think. Because so far, the only real lore thing that the show has had going for it is the mystery surrounding the boy's mom, Della. It's been Dewey and Webby investigating what happened to her, and their only lead is a note saying that she stole the Spear of Selene from Scrooge. Selene being one of the Olympian mythological characters, right? So one day, while the entire family is out flying on Launchpad's plane, Dewey and Webby create a problem, a minor problem, but one that's so obvious that not even Launchpad can overlook it. He crash lands the plane, and they end up on, I can't remember what it was actually called in the show, I'm just going to call it Bird Ithaca, where the bird Olympians hang out. And the core of the episode was some genuinely funny stuff, peppered with a ton of mythology references, which, for a nerd like me, that's pretty stinking great. We meet Bird Zeus, who was just called Zeus, I think, who was just as spiteful and petty as I would expect for someone named Zeus, as well as his son, Bird Hercules. I don't remember what his actual name was in the show, who was not. Because one of the things you have to understand about Greek heroes, ancient Greek mythological heroes, is hero meant something different then. It just meant important person that the story is about. Basically, people who did great deeds that were then recorded in story, right? That's what a hero was. You didn't have to be a good person. And Zeus was a dick. Hercules was a dick too. Most people don't think of him as one nowadays, mostly because of stuff like that old show with Kevin Sorbo, for example, in which he was not nearly as big a dick. He was just played by one. In this, though, he's portrayed as, of all things, trying to decide how to describe this most accurately, Donald's himbo ex-boyfriend? And of course, this mythological island that no one is supposed to know about is a place where the entire family, before the boys came along, has visited before. And Zeus has personal beef with them because Scrooge shows him up at every opportunity without even trying. And throughout the entire episode, it's shown that Donald just is capable of doing the exact same thing, and so are Huey and Louie. And so that's most of the episode. Most of the episode is just the various trials that Zeus commands them to participate in so that he can try to finally beat Scrooge at something. And in the end, they win by Scrooge purposefully losing so that Zeus doesn't feel bad, which is very Greek mythology, honestly. That's the kind of thing that, yeah, I could totally buy that in one of the myths. And there's some really good stuff here. Della is mentioned because she had come here with them and she was friends with is people the right word? The immortals here too. In fact, Bird Hercules was friends with her as well. And man, this guy he's Hercules. He's supposed to have all the abilities of Hercules. And at one point, Donald fights him for a very long time and does a pretty good job. And he keeps talking up how great an adventurer Donald was. And it was really funny. It was some really funny stuff. But then there's a couple of emotional scenes there where, one, he says, without having to say it, that Della is dead. And you can tell Bird Hercules is genuinely remorseful. It was really good. It was a really good emotional scene that didn't use a whole lot of dialogue to convey its points. And then there's another scene later where Donald just finally gets ticked off with Bird Hercules and is like, I don't adventure anymore. I don't want to be your friend anymore. He doesn't come right out and say it in that much detail. Like, he doesn't think of this person as his friend anymore. He's been avoiding him because he doesn't go on adventures anymore because he's tired of people getting hurt. He just wants to live a quiet life with nothing bothering him. And they're both these really good, really emotional scenes that tie directly into the B-plot of the episode. But at the same time, we do see that when push comes to shove and Donald has to step up, he's still able to. And like, this was good stuff in just the context of this episode, but it means something for the entirety of the show. We're setting up Donald as a genuinely competent person, even in spite of all of his incompetencies. And we're also adding new context to stuff that we've seen in previous episodes. It's a comedy A-plot, but it still manages to be a lore plot as well. As does the B-plot of the episode, which is Dewey and Webby sneak off to go to the Temple of Heroes and try to find the spear of Selene, because either she stole it from Scrooge after Scrooge got it from here, or she stole it from here. And Dewey is desperate to prove that his mom did what she did for a good reason, that she was a good person, that she wasn't betraying the family, whereas Webby just wants to learn the truth and genuinely seems to think it's more likely that what Della did was a betrayal. And after going on a few comedic misadventures that were just as funny as anything in the significantly more comedic A-plot, literally my favorite part of the episode was the very brief encounter they had with a sea monster. They do reach the Garden of Selene, which only opens for a short period of time every so often. There is a limited window for them to enter. And when it comes right down to it, Dewey isn't able to go in, and he actually actively fights Webby to keep her out because he can't face the possibility that his mom might have been a bad person. But to his credit, it turns out that he does care more about the truth than his own feelings, because push come to shove, as that door is about to close, he does rush in with Webby at his side, and they do meet the actual mythical Selene, which shouldn't have been surprising to me because we had just met Zeus and Hercules, or Bird Hercules, I don't know, whatever. I still don't remember what his name was. Usually by this point in the review I would have remembered, but it's just not coming to me. And she confirms that Della was a good person, they were friends. There was a spooky prophecy right outside the door. It was the thing that got Dewey really worked up there for a minute. Selene reveals that she just put it there because she thought Della might have come with the rest of the family and wanted to get her hyped for a mystery. There's definitely some history here that we're not told. It's just implied to us, but Selene does reveal there is no spear of Selene. She never had a spear. She has a sphere that can show people things, which she gives to Dewey to help him find his mother. But there was never a spear. So what does that note even mean? Like, originally, the mystery was just, well, why did she do this thing and what does it have to do with her death? Now, there's that extra added layer of mystery. Why would she leave that note about a thing that apparently never existed? Whatever the next clue is going to end up being, it has to be in why she chose that specific word, spear. Because Selene even says, do you mean the sphere of Selene? And she makes the sphere appear in her hand. So I'm thinking it's something like a replacement cipher or something, that she snuck some letters in there that don't belong, and they're going to make another message, maybe along with other notes. I don't know, but it's really interesting, and was just enough to get me reinvested in this mystery, even considering this is several episodes after it was introduced, and I don't review this show very often. So, good on the episode for doing its job exceptionally well. Actually, real quick, I thought of something else, another possibility to go here, when I was looking at Tumblr posts clowning on Jeff Bezos' big dick-shaped spaceship. I was thinking it could also be a spaceship. long shaft, pointed tip, pierces the heavens like a spear. If it was supposed to go to the moon, it would even fit the name Selene. So I'm thinking actually possibly spaceship now too. Just wanted to get it out there. And there is one additional little comedy stinger at the end of the episode that was pretty great. Overall, this was a fantastic episode of this show. It got me hyped for the mystery again. It made me laugh several times. The animation was really good in parts, though I feel like the way they animated Selene's face, it looked kind of wonky a couple times. Literally my only criticism of the entire episode, though. This one was real home run. Also, straight up, Donald and Bird Hercules. I ship that shit super hard now, which is something I never thought I would say. So, you know, that's like the best thing about cartoons. I never thought I'd experience this, and I did anyway. As per usual, though, guys, what do you think of the DuckTales episode, The Spear of Selene? If you have seen it, let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, you might as well like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone else you think would enjoy my content. You can also check out the links to my various social medias, as well as to the many ways you can help out my channel. Those will be in the video description. But either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.